set.
Alright, so we're backstage at the 4th Golden Plains and speaking with members of the Cruel Sea, we have Tex Perkins here.
Correct.
And we have Dan Rumer and James Cruikshank. Now, this is kind of a return to Meredith / Golden Plains, of course, but this is a different site and quite a few years since the first show. So how did you enjoy playing your set out there tonight?
Oh, I loved it. It was great. Yeah. Challenging as always, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Receptive crowd.
The rain stopped just before we started. As soon as we came up,
And then
it absolutely bucketed down. It was just like Cairns years and years ago.
I'd begun to think it wasn't coming back, that rain.
Ted Carmody told me if you play really good music, you can kind of change the weather, and it seems to be true.
Instead of send you out to
Perhaps
the drought
he's right.
places.
Well, yeah,
Or maybe it's the surf instrumental, maybe it's just bringing the waves, you know.
I don't know. I don't know how it works, but it happened tonight.
I promised. I said the rain will stop.
Yeah. And do you have fun out there working that lovely big crowd, all happy to hear you?
Absolutely. They were really lovely, actually.
And Calexico would have warmed them up perfectly for you, I think, actually.
Exactly.
You Calexico fans, actually, just incidentally?
Don't have any of their records, or posters, or t-shirts, or badges, or underpants.
Not a card-carrying party member then.
But yes, I am pro Calexico.
You have it on record, excellent. Now, I suppose this is kind of like a reunion. Is that you broke up for quite a while? How many years was the?
We never broke up.
No, never broke up at all.
And this is a reunion.
Well,
We're back together again.
just our activity is spaced out a lot more than other bands' activities. We just sort of that's 8 years ago. We decided we needed to put things down for a little bit and have a rest. And suddenly 5 years went by.
In the blink of an eye.
And then decided to do things, but it seems we just. I mean, we seem to be more interested in keeping it special and not destroying the delicate nature of what this is, you know. And we're on the road for like 15 years.
And very successful and in demand. It's pretty draining.
It kind of killed it for us. Many times over through that 15 years. Many times.
But originally the Cruel Sea was formed as an instrumental band over the surf.
Sure.
A surf instrumental kind of influence, is that right?
We're in between bands, Jim and Kenny and myself, and just looking for something to do, and instrumentals were easy to do. Just old surf instrument, Booker T and the MGs, the Up-7s, all the good stuff. We enjoyed it, and a few of our friends enjoyed it, and a few of our friends booked us. We ended up with a residency because a friend bothered to go and book it. So someone said, oh, okay, we're playing Harold Park every Sunday, and it kind of just went from there. So there was no big plan. It wasn't like, right, this is what we're going to do. We liked it, we enjoyed it, and our friends enjoyed it, and their friends, and it just kind of grew. And Tex came along and heard it, and he kind of liked it. But he was really busy doing a lot of stuff.
And you've all had other
so
bands
bit by bit,
as well,
Tex used to get up and do it.
I loved it, Dan.
Oh, you loved it?
I kind of liked it. I loved it.
It was a great band.
Were you an admirer of the Cruel Sea as an instrumental band before
Yeah,
you came
so
on
it took me a long while to actually sort of give in, and I mean the idea of me sort of contributing and singing with them sort of was put up, and I was very hesitant because I loved the band and I knew I'd sort of ruin it in a way, you know, by being a part of it. I mean, a whole new sort of stage began when I started contributing, you know. But you know, it couldn't last forever. But that golden little period of the Cruel Sea, like the first 18 months where they were like instrumental, I guess I wanted to last as long as possible. But you know, I loved them, and I resisted sort of contributing, but it was inevitable.
Had you fronted bands before? Like, you've been up, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you've done that, and you've been
Tex
doing...
was really busy in a band called The Beasts of Burden.
Oh, who I might have heard of.
So, and as well, Tex would get up and do just a few songs with the Cruel Sea. Just a few, just like a guest spot. We actually had one or two other guest singers that might have done one or two songs just for, something to do. But Tex told me very directly that when it came to that point of like, do you want to should we work more? He said, well, if I join the band, it'll change it. It'll just totally change it. So, and that was true.
And did that change the way the songs were getting written?
Well, look, Tex wrote some lyrics to an instrumental of mine, and that became the song Down Below. And when I first heard it, the lyrics fitted the music so perfectly that it was actually not possible not to continue, really.
But we've always maintained, we've always remembered the roots of the band. And I mean, for instance, tonight they started with an instrumental. There's always got to be that element in the band because it is, with or without me, it's a great bunch of musicians.
And
And there's a real.
that it keeps going in that way too.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing better that I enjoy than watching the band play from the side of stage. I am very fond of gigs where I get a little bit of a rest sometimes.
I suppose you don't get a rest at all, do you?
No. We've been together a long time, but also we've been together with, where are they? With Jim and Ken, bass player and drummer, like in various bands before the Cruel Sea for around 30 years now. We've been together for 30 years. I think that's probably still a bit unusual in the music business. And I think it's because we actually focused on the music itself. In other words, we were happy with it, and our friends were happy with it. They, it's all about the content. Without content, it doesn't matter what the show is.
Was having that support of your friends actually really important? People to book you and stuff like that?
Yeah, we would have stopped if there would be no point. No point,
And are you all spread out throughout the country? Like you're living in the Highlands, so you have to get together to come and play a show?
Yeah.
James, whereabouts are you based?
Bangalow, which is Northern Rivers, New South Wales.
New South Wales. I always feel like I need a map with me.
James lives in the old Bangalow church.
Yes, I live in St
You
Joseph's.
got an old church?
Yeah, I live under my address is the Holy Spirit Parish Bangalow.
That's where we
Deep.
rehearsed for this show.
I was just thinking, did you do that classic thing with an old church and turn it into a rehearsal or a production space
Yes,
for the
we did.
band?
Yeah.
Ideal.
But it was a cut of a room. It was all echoey.
Yes, because it's usually
Yeah, because
It's
they're
terrible.
churches are all about the voice of God
Projecting
coming
your
from the person on the pulpit, and you put drums in there, and it becomes
primitive,
it becomes
basic.
well, it just there's a lot of words getting all jumbled up together. So.
It sends the sound bouncing around a lot, what they want for voices, but maybe you don't want so much for drums.
Yeah, but it was a wonderful old space. We used to be a primary school for a while.
But we have there's an equation in our business called it's bad sound check, great gig.
Yeah, right.
Have a great sound check, oh shit, you get worried about the gig. Have bad rehearsal.
Great tour.
And that exactly, great tour.
But there is something about band rehearsal spaces that they have. They're tiny little boxes, and they smell like failed music careers. You check in, you bang away.
Oh.
And the rooms get sick of having all that sound in them. I think the rooms get really tired of just all that sound all the time, and so the rooms don't really respond very happily to yet another, drum kit or something. Where the church was, even though the church was all echoey and everything, it was a clean.
That room would be great, but you got to approach it properly.
I think so.
You can't have just a whacking rehearsing rock band in there. You got to use the room.
Yeah, you let the room do the work.
Yeah.
So you're obviously still really getting along as people, and you want to keep going with the quill seed? Do you want to take it further? Do you want to take it
Yeah,
back to the roots? Or what are you going to do?
I think we get on better than we used to, and
Yeah.
we're getting older. Learning.
You mellow out,
We're
you know.
learning how to communicate.
Well, there's one thing that Tex pointed
Yes,
out
I'd like to
before,
continue.
which is you can, given the nature or the business nature of music, you can just through sheer repetition and hard work and the idea of like, hey, you're just starting to shift some units in, you know, somewhere else, and the very nature of it kind of kills it, can kill it. So to get to a point where which is a very privileged position, which is to be in the sort of collective consciousness of Australian people and, you know, a smattering of people around the world. It allows us just to keep the music alive, because our ambitions are not the ambitions of selling, you know, selling lots of records always nice, but the ambitions are now just to play the music in the best possible way that we can. You know.
You still have to put energy into playing that music live to keep.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's bad, eh?
That's
Better at it.
But at the moment, that's why we play so little. Because there's a gingerness about getting back on the treadmill and just kind of destroying it again, you know, just through the machination of your career and music career. You know, I mean,
we don't need to do that anymore.
And we're all involved in other projects.
we're going to have to write a bloody song again!
I've got two.
And then you can do shows that you love, like
Lead
playing
with
at
lyrics.
Golden Plains.
No.
Well, we're going to have to wrap this up, but thank you so much for your time. It's
No, you're
real,
welcome.
it's terrific to see you here at Golden Plains.
It's a direct thing going.